Right, this is part 1 and 2 of how to build our tub kits. The first bit we do is we put the stiffeners on the rear quarter panels, rivet those in just like a sub-assembly, left and right, so it's ready to go. We have a pair of those, and we do the same thing with the wing, because you get the door slam, this piece comes ready assembled, but it needs attaching to the wing. So we do this as a sub-assembly. You need to make sure once you've done it that this is still at 90 degrees, because it will sometimes tweak out a bit. You might have to put it in a vice with some soft jaws and give it a bit of to straighten it out. But that's sort of the first two bits we do, and then the next bit we move on to assembling the two inner wheel boxes, rear wings if you want to call it, and the main floor. And we literally support it on trestles, pop the corners. This comes right to the front, by the way. You bring the floor right to the front, it butts up here, and then bang it with a couple of pops. Same at the rear end. We usually come one in so you can get that clamp to hold the W section in. And when we put these in the middle, you may find this bows a little because the stress is induced in the sheet when it's cut. So you need one of you to push it so it all lines up. Put a couple of pot rivets in so you're nice and straight. And we've then got what we call the W section, which is the 3mm bit. That is 342mm from the end to the inside. Will give you a little bit of clearance both ends, and that's what we set it at. And you make sure that when you clamp it on that this face here is flush with this face, because when your quarter panel goes on it should sit straight. If this is in, you'll end up with your quarter panel bending in. So that's sort of bits 1 and 2. So we'll now do the quarter panels and come back to it and show you how we've done it. Right, we're on to what we call part 3, which is fitting the rear quarter panels. So firstly, you will notice, because we haven't moved it yet, you have to put a little notch in there to let that rivet through. You may get a kit where that rivet is moved by the time this is all done, but if you've got a kit that isn't, you put a little notch in there first. This will only go down until it hits the W section we've fitted in previous. You see it under there? It stops there. And you just clamp it so it's parallel. Simple, same distance all the way along. About 5-6mm. Clamp it there. And we clamp on the front here where it joins the floor. We will drill that and put rivets in. We clamp it again so that it's parallel. That's all you need. And there is a magic number when you're putting these in. Make sure this is square, because it might have got bent in transit. It does happen. Things get bent in the transit. Right. That magic distance is 295mm to the outside. That should be 295 there to there. That is your magic number. Clamp it, drill through, and we will rivet it, solid rivet, done, finished. And I will show you where I put the rivets in strategic places on part 5. But that's that part finished. Yeah, we will put, you'll also see when we talk about riveting the front, we put a stabiliser bar, it goes between in here, we clamp it, and it keeps that parallel and at the correct distance. But that'll be the next bit. We'll get these riveted on, and then we'll do the next bit. Next bit. We've done solid riveting across here, and we put some pops in. We countersunk them. They will be drilled out and have solid rivets in, but for now you need to leave that gap because you've got a bracket on your chassis that will come up here somewhere, and there's an extra couple that will go in here for this corner stiffener. You'll see when we turn it upside down. So that's how that's left for now. If we come around to this side, you want to make sure that this edge here is flush with that there, because when your outer wing goes on it all ties together. And the last bit, we've got our stiffener bar we put in between the two halves and measure that. That's about 922mm between there and there, as long as it's parallel within those figures. 920, 920, absolutely fine. And then the next bit will be the bulkhead, which we'll show you on the next section. Fitting the bulkhead top. There's a little gap each side. It's just slightly short. See a gap, and all you do is even it up. Get someone to lift it up and hold it tight to the floor. Get some pot rivets in. You need to get the ones in the corners, otherwise they'll sag. So you need to put those two in there, and just a few along here to hold it. Make sure you've got a straight line, a little bit of a gap, there'll be a gauge gap there. And we just put some clamps on here, just to hold it temporarily while you're putting it all together. And when to do this joint, I use a little bit of box section, and just keep everything parallel. So when you put your wing on, it's all going to fit nice. And literally we clamp it so it runs underneath that hole, and you just use that fold line as your gauge, so it's straightish. And I use the term straightish because it weren't on the originals. And when it's done, it looks like this one. And you can show the rivets on the back as well. It's all done, it's flush, and that is it. There's obviously the bulkhead bottom to go on. Or we'll turn it upside down to do that. That's it. Well, I realised when editing the video to have put this together, I neglected what we call the doodad that goes on the bulkhead, and we do it when we fitted the bulkhead top. And come in a bit, I can sort of show you. It's very straightforward, as you can probably see. Just follow the line and get it nice and straight. Sits about there, and just above the rivet there, you may have to trim it up a little bit. That's all. And then it doesn't matter also which side you put the countersunk. It can be this side or it can be the other side. It is personal preference. But that's that bit done, and do it with it. Next bit, bulkhead bottom or bulkhead tray, as we call it in the 90s. Clamp it on, literally clamp it on. It goes this way, with your fuel holes at that end. You marry it with all your other fuel holes, don't get it wrong. Clamp it on. When you're doing the riveting on the main bulkhead, don't rivet or put a rivet in the last hole, the one nearest the floor when it's the right way up, because you need to drill right through and it comes through here at the bulkhead bottom, and we put a rivet in there. So don't do the last one nearest the floor, right way up. And that is it, and it's literally drill through, countersink, rivet. And we do it this way up now because without the wings and that one, you can actually solid rivet all of them, and it makes life a lot easier. And that's that bit. Rivet it, flip it back over. Job done. Just got the outer wings on. They're only popped on in a few places. The odd clamp here and there, just to hold it. Get it so it looks okay. You know, you look at yours, and if you've got an original, you'll find one end and tighter than the other. It's just how they are. So just get it so you're happy with the way it looks. And on the front, I'll come around here. Where the bulkhead meets, I'll do it because you'll probably see it from that side. There's a landing here. That landing, you want to make sure you push it far enough forward so the holes actually like that. And just make sure both sides are the same before you put anything in. And you might want a dead blow because they're quite handy for doing a bit of metal massage to adjust it, fit what it wants you need it to. That's that bit. We will then line up the top, that's how those bits off you can see. We've got to sort of straighten this out. You get stresses in the material from where it can plasma cut and punch in the CNC punch, then folded. You might find a little bit of an arc in it. So you've got to straighten it out so all the holes are roughly in the middle of this lip here, so it looks right. Don't get emotional over trying to measure it with feeler gauges because you'll send yourself to the front farm. It's just got to look right. And then once we've done that, we'll get on to the next bit of how we do the underneath. Right. Just thought I'd show you this bit. We've done the sort of four that get in your way. So you need to get that out of the way before you put this piece in, otherwise you'll be filling the rivets out. But trust me, I've done it. So, and literally, eye down the side, all of that looks nice and straight, lovely, jubbly. We'll clamp that on there. Now, when you get 3 layers of material, you need to use the longer rivets that come in the kit. Instead of the 1/2 inch you do for 2 layers, you're going to need the 9/16 because you've got 2 lots of 2 and 3 mil layer of material. I literally, a little bit of cutting fluid, and I spill that daily. So you must spill your cutting fluid, otherwise you're not doing the job properly. And I literally go, that wants to be about there. Like that, and then we'll rivet it. We'll stop now and we'll come back and we'll do on the other bits, but that's how we do it. Simple. Final stretch to do this. The top outs that go inside your inner wheel boxes, we now pre-drill these on a jig, but they're wheel box comes punched on a CNC punch when it's a flat blank, so it should all line up. Just put a pop in each corner just to hold them on while it's flat. Makes life a hell of a lot easier. I know you've got a countersink from the other side, but at least it's on there now. Now when you're doing your 3 long tracks, if you look at that end, there's a joggle because it sits over the return on the front there. That's where the joggle goes. If you look at them, it's a flat one end and a joggle the other. That's where the joggle goes. It's the bulkhead end. Basically, get a couple of your galvy bits, and you'll see there's gaps between the rivet holes. Just lay a couple on there and get it central. Basically, the middle one, you're looking at 450 mil to that edge there, from there. Put a pop in it, do the same that end. And then on these ones, once you've got it central, we generally go for 250 mil to the edge, just on that little radius there. Basically, it's all sits, and you're going to get on a landing to get your pot rivets in when you finally put these on. Do not fit this bit yet. Take these out of the way, both of them. Drill all your holes through from this side, upend it, and you've got a countersink and more. I know that sounds like a horrible job. It doesn't take long, to be honest. Once you've done that, you can then solid rivet these on. We recommend that you paint these, get them powder coated in a galvy to give you a bit of protection against electrolysis that you'll get between that and the aluminium. If you painted the alley as well, it just prolongs the life of the whole situation. So that really, this is it. This is the last bit. And once you've done this bit of riveting, you have a complete total finished, other than painting it, obviously.